Alright, hi everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to do two-step equations and inequalities. My previous video we did one-step equations, but today we're going to show two-step equations and inequalities. Okay, so starting off with my first lesson, I taught everybody that you can look at a two-step equation kind of like you're having a party. Alright, and at a party, you have you at your party. Then you have family who's close to you. Your family is very close to you, and your friends are also at the party, but they're not as close to you as your family is. Alright, so here's the door of your party, and the people outside who aren't lucky enough to be at your party stay outside. Alright, so you have to pretend that the party's over now. Everybody had fun, it was great, but it's time to go home, time to go to bed. Alright, so the first people to leave your party are your friends. So your friends are going to leave first, and then after your family stays and helps you clean up, then they will leave also. And then it'll just be you by yourself, just you, X, equaling something. Alright, so let me show you how to do that. So like I said first, party's over, it's time to get your friends out first. So in this case, positive 10 is my friends. So in order to get rid of them, I have to use the inverse operation. So the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract my friends. If I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side. Alright, so now I have 7x, just me and my family left, equals 31 minus 10 is 21, positive. Alright, so now your friends are gone, the place is clean, and it's time for your family to go. Alright, so to get the family out, just like you got your friends out, you have to use the inverse operation. Alright, when there's a coefficient pushed up against a variable like this, it means to multiply. So we have to use the inverse of multiplication to get rid of your to get rid of your family. Alright, so you're going to divide both sides by 7. Alright, then this 7 over 7 becomes a 1, or a 1x. And you know that if there's a 1x, you don't have to write the 1. You can just write x equals 21 divided by 7, which is 3. And this is your answer. You by yourself at your party now, and x equals positive 3. Alright, now let's pretend this is an inequality. So let's say we have the same thing, 7x plus 10 is less than 31. Alright? You do this problem exactly the same as you did the equation up top. This just has a different symbol. It's not an equal sign, it's an inequality. Alright, so you would still get rid of your friends first. Keep the sign the same. 21 divided by 7. Just like you did up top. X is less than 3. So the inequalities work exactly the same as the equations for the most part. There's one example as to when they're not the same. Alright, now look, if you're having your party and let's say you have a negative 7x, your family is negative 7 here, plus 10 is less than 31. Alright? Now, you start off the same way. You still have to get rid of your friends out of the party first. Party's over, it's been fun. See you guys, come back soon. Alright, so I have negative 7x is less than 21. Alright, this is the part where it's different. If your family is negative, you have to flip this sign. And the way I remember that is if your family is negative, if your mother or father or aunt or uncle or whoever you're with is negative towards you, that means they need you to change. Alright, if you have a negative family member, it means they need you to change. Like if they're harping on it, clean your room, blah, 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 that's negative, all that. That needs to change. You need to change your behavior, and we have to change the sign. So when I divide by a negative 7 on both sides, I have x, and I need to change the sign. See how this is a greater than sign now, not a less than. Negative 3. Okay? Now, I've also asked you to graph these. And to graph these on a number line. Let me show you what I want for that. So when you draw your number line, you need to have only 3 numbers. Alright? The number we're concerned about here is -3. So this goes in the middle, -3. Alright? Now on this number line, I'm only going to write 3 numbers. So I'm not going to get to 0. But I know that 0 is over here somewhere. Alright? It'll be 0, -1. Now we enter my number line, and I have -2 here. And this is -4. Alright, you need to make sure that these numbers are in the correct order, otherwise I'm not going to count your graph right. It's very important that you get these right. Alright, now, it says x is greater than -3. If it's greater than -3, it can't be -3. So these greater than and less than signs have an open circle when you graph. Alright? And if x is my arrow that I'm going to put, it needs to be greater than -3. Is -4 greater than -3? No, -4 is less than -3. So -2 is my greater number. So I'm going to make an arrow. You can shade it however you want. This way. Because all of my answers, whatever x is, we don't know exactly what it is, but we know it's greater than -3. So it could be all of these numbers forever, all the way up to infinity. Alright, so this is how your graph should look. Only 3 numbers. I don't need you to write a whole bunch. It gets kind of messy and annoying after that way. Alright, so that's how you do the 2-step inequalities or equations.